Welcome back, students. We shall continue the second part of the one act play, The Proposal, a comedy by Anton Chekhov. These are the characters: Stefan Stefanovich Chupkov, a landowner; Natalia Stefanovna, his daughter, 25 years old; Ivan Vasilovich Lomov, a neighbor of Chupkov, a large and hearty but very suspicious landowner. So, dear students, before we proceed, we shall try to recall what we discussed in our previous class. Lomov, a young man, comes to his neighbor Chupkov's house in a formal dress, wearing jacket and gloves, to propose to his daughter. Father feels very happy and goes to call his daughter. While Natalia, Chupkov's daughter, comes, Lomov thinks about his decision to marry. He is 35 years old, a heart patient, and also suffering from sleep sickness. So he must get married to lead a quiet and regular life. Natalia is a good housekeeper, not bad to look at, and also educated. She would prove to be a good wife to him. While creating background for proposing Natalia, Lomo refers to the Oxen Meadows, disputed piece of land between the lands owned by them. Both fall into argument, each claiming ownership over it. So, dear students, we shall begin our second part of the lesson. Let me read it for you. Please follow my reading. Lomo. How? I am speaking of those oxen meadows which are wedged in between your birch woods and the burnt marsh. Natalia. Yes, yes, they are ours. Lomo. No, you are mistaken. Honor Natalia Stefanovna. They are mine. Natalia. Just think, Ivan Vasilovich. How long have they been yours? Lomo. How long? As long as I can remember. Natalia. Really? You won't get me to believe that. Lomo. But you can see from the documents, honored Natalia Stefanovna. Oxen Meadows, it's true, were once the subject of dispute, means a cause of quarrel. But now everybody knows that they are mine. There's nothing to argue about. See, my aunt's grandmother gave the free use of these meadows to perpetuity, to eternal, everlasting, to the peasants of your father's grandfather, in return for which they were to make bricks for her. So, students, here the land under dispute was what? Oxen meadows. So, according to Lomo, who gave the free use of this land and to whom? So, yeah, the grandfather of Lomo's aunt gave its free use to the peasants of Natalia's great grandfather. So, what was to be done in return? They were to make what? They were to make bricks for her. So, yeah, what we understand, dear students, he tells, so he tells that his aunt's grandmother gave the free use of oxen meadows and to the farmers, in return for which they were to make bricks for his aunt's grandmother. So, this what the argument is going on between Lomo and Natalia. Next, the peasants belonging to your father's grandfather had the free use of the meadows for 40 years. How many years? 40 years. And had got into the habit of regarding them as their own. When it happened that, Natalia, no, it isn't at all like that. Both grandfather and great grandfather reckoned, means believed, that their land extended to Burn Marsh, which means that Oxen Meadows were ours. I don't see what there is to argue about. It simply is silly. Lomo speaks. I'll show you the documents, Natalia Stefanona. Natalia. No, you're simply joking or making fun of me. What a surprise! We've had the land for nearly 300 years, and then we're suddenly told that it isn't ours. Ivan Vasilievich, I can hardly believe my own ears. These meadows aren't worth much to me. They only come to 5 deci small part of ruble or Russian currency, and are worth perhaps 300 rubles. But I can't stand, means tolerate unfairness. Say what you will, I can't stand unfairness, means injustice. Again, the discussion heats up here. So here, who is making fun of whom? Here, Lomo is making fun of Natalia. And for how long did they have the land? They had the land for nearly 300 years. And we see what has been unfair with the speaker. What has been unfair here with Natalia? She said the land that Natalia that for nearly 300 years. How many years? 300 years. So Natalia tells Lomo that it is not belong to him. And we say, how much are the meadows worth? They worth 300 rubles. Means they worth 300 rubles. And finally they say that the meadows don't belong to, who says? Meadows don't belong to Lomo. Natalia defends her speech, and we say the farmers of her father's grandfather had the free use of Oxen Meadows for how many years? For how many years? For 40 years. They had it for 40 years, and further they say, and had got into the habit of regarding Oxen Meadows, the Oxen Meadows, as their own land. Natalia tells that her elders reckoned, means believed, that their land extended to Burn Marsh. And this, she tells that, which means that Oxen Meadows were theirs. Now Lomo disputes it and tells that he has legal documents of the Oxen Meadows. So she tells that the meadows aren't worth much to her. They only cost 5 deci and are worth perhaps 300 rubles, but she can't stand unfairness. So they are not worth much, but she says she can't stand unfairness. So she can't bear the injustice being done to her. Have you understood, students? Shall we continue? Lomo, hear me out. I implore, request you, the presence of your father's grandfather, as I have already had the honor of explaining to you, used to bake bricks for my aunt's grandmother. Now, my aunt's grandmother, wishing to make them a pleasant. Natalia, I can't make head or tail of all this about aunts and grandfathers and grandmothers. The meadows are ours. That's all. Lomo, mine. Natalia, ours. You can go on proving it for 2 days on end. You can go and put on 15 dress jackets. But I tell you, they are ours. 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 I don't want anything of yours. And I don't want to give anything of mine. So there, Lomo. Natalia Stefanovna, I don't want the meadows, but I am acting on principle. If you like, I'll make you a present of them. So in this slide, we try to understand that what did the peasants do? The peasants bigs for Lomo's aunt's grandmother. So yeah, Oxen Meadows, this particular property is under dispute, and they continue the dispute. Lomo is told that he is a mean person. So Lomo, Natalia tells Lomo that he is a mean person, and he tells that he will make her. Lomo tells that he will make her a present of the meadows. So he says, if you like, I'll make you a present of them. But do you think Natalia is ready to accept this offer? No, she's adamant. She's she has already told that she cannot tolerate injustice. Though it is not worth much, but she is unable to bear the injustice meted out to her. And he says, you can go on proving it for 2 days on end. You can go on for 15 dress jackets. But I tell you, they are, she is also adamant. She is also defending her own property. But Lomo too, she, Lomo finally tells he doesn't want the meadows, but he is acting on principle, acting on the legal uh, authorities, and he says that the property is belong to him, and if you like, I'll make you a present of them. So he's ready to present the entire Oxen Meadows to Natalia. Have you understood, students? Shall we move on? Let me read it for you. Natalia, I can make you a present of them myself, because they are mine. Your behavior, Ivan Vassilevich, is strange, to say the least. Up to this, we have always thought of you as a good neighbor, a friend. Last year, we gave you a threshing machine that separates grain from husk. Although on that account we had to put off, delay our own threshing till November, but you behaved to us as if we were gypsies, homeless persons. Giving me my own land, indeed. No, really, that's not at all neighborly. In my opinion, it's even impudent, insulting, if you want to know. Lomo, then you make out that I am a land grabber? Ma'am, never in my life have I grabbed anybody else's land, and I shan't allow anybody to accuse me of having done so. Quickly steps to the carafe and drinks more water. Oxen Meadows are mine, Natalia. It's not true. They are ours. Lomo, mine. So here, the argument continues. Further, we find that so far, Natalia thought Lomo to be a good, friendly neighbor. So, she thought Lomo to be a good, friendly neighbor. What changed her opinion, dear students? Here, Lomo's claim that the Oxen Meadows belong to his family and not Natalia. So, this claim changed the opinion about Lomo. That is a good neighbor. How did Natalia try to prove that they were at least good neighbors? They lent what? Threshing machine to Lomo the previous year that delayed their own threshing till November. So their own work got was pending, and because they had lent a threshing machine for Lomos, field, for separating the grain from husk. And why Chupkos had to delay their own threshing till November? Because they had lent it to Lomo, their neighbor. So yeah, what is the noun form of threshing? Yeah, is a thresher, threshing, thresher. So this is what we find here, dear students. The argument heats up slowly. She tells she can make a present of them herself because they are hers. So, and you can also understand she lets him know. She lets Lomo know that the previous year they lent him their threshing machine, although on that account they had to put off their own threshing till November. He is impudent in her opinion. Then Lomo gets angry and asks her if he is a land grabber. So he asks, then make out that I am a land grabber. So he questions Natalia, asking whether she thought that he was a land grabber. So in this way, the the argument continues. Shall we move on to the next slide? Natalia, it's not true. I'll prove it. I'll send my mowers, Miss Grass Cutter, out to the meadows this very day. What? Natalia, my mowers will be there this very day. I'll give to them in the neck. Natalia, you dare. Lomo clutches grass tightly at his heart. Oxen meadows are mine. You understand? Mine. Natalia, please don't shout. You can shout yourself hoarse in your own house, but here I must ask you to restrain yourself. Lomo, if it wasn't, ma'am, for this awful, excruciating, this fast growing palpitation, if my whole inside wasn't upset, I'd talk to you in a different way. Else, oxen meadows are mine. So, the students, yeah, now the quarrel has reached to a heated point. She says that she will send her movers, means grass cutters, grass cutters out to the meadows. And he says that he will give it to them in the neck. Who says? Lomo. He is going to beat them up. And he asks her if it wasn't for this awful, excruciating palpitation, he would talk to her in a different way. See, slowly his heart troubles him. So, he clutches, grasps tightly at his heart. So, because he is shouting, he is screaming, his heart is slowly troubling him. So, he says that if it wasn't, ma'am, for this awful, excruciating, fast growing palpitation, my whole inside wasn't upset. So, he is upset. His health is not supporting him to continue his argument. But in spite of it, he is doing it. I talk to you in a different way. So if I was a healthy person, I would have talked to you in a different way. So he yells, screams, oxen meadows are mine. Natalia, ours, Lomo, mine. Natalia, ours, Lomo, mine. Enter Chupko. Chupko, what's the matter? What are you shouting for? Natalia, Papa, please tell this gentleman who owns Oxen Meadows. We are he. Chupko to Lomo, darling, The meadows are ours. Lomo. But please, Stefan Stefanovich, how can they be yours? To be reasonable, my aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary and free use of your grandfather's peasants. The peasants used the land for 40 years and got accustomed to it as if it was their own when it happened that. So, yeah, Chupko enters. Now, Chupko enters the scene and asks them what the matter is and what they are shouting for. Both Natalia and Lomo ask his opinion about the oxen meadows. So, here in the previous thing, we observed that she is going to send mowers to cut grass, but Lomo threatened to beat them. Then they started shouting, and now Chupko has entered uh, the scene, and now he is also supporting his own daughter Natalia, stating that meadows are belong to them. But Lomo is not ready to give up, and he asks him to be a reasonable man. And he says, his aunt's grandmother gave the meadows for the temporary free use uh, of his grandfather's of Chupko's grandfather's peasants. The peasants used the land for 40 years and got accustomed to it as if it was their own. Have you understood, students? Chupko, excuse me, my precious, you forget just this, that the peasants didn't pay your grandmother and all that, because the meadows were in dispute, and so on. And now everybody knows that they are ours. It means that you haven't seen the plan. Lom, I'll prove to you that they are mine. Chupko, you won't prove it, my darling. Lom, I shall. Chupko, dear one, why yell like that? You won't prove anything just by yelling. I don't want anything of yours and don't intend to give up what I have. Why should I? And you know, my beloved, that if you propose to go on arguing about it, I'd much sooner give up the meadows to the peasants than to you there. Lom, I don't understand. How have you the right to give away somebody else's property? So, dear students, here Chupko enters the sides with his daughter. He claims that the meadows belong to them. He is ready to give the meadows to the peasants than to him. So he says that he is ready to give the meadows to the peasants than to Lomo. So because Lomo is defending his own stand, but Natalia and Chupko also are very stern enough or adamant enough in defending their own point. And further, this Chupko tells them that they belong to him. So, dear students, we shall stop the second part of this lesson, the proposal. We shall continue the last two parts of the lesson in the next two videos. Before we wind up, we shall try to recall what we discussed in this episode. Lomo has come to Natalia's house to propose to her. When she comes out to speak with him, he starts talking of irrelevant things and then mentions Oxen Meadows, a piece of land near Natalia's land. He claims it to be his, and Natalia, on hearing it, starts asserting that the land was hers. He keeps saying that he has the papers to prove, but Natalia is not prepared to hear any argument, and they start quarreling on this issue. Natalia was not aware that Lomo had come to her with a proposal for marriage, and not for quarreling about a patch of land. Hence she behaved foolishly and argued, though Lomo had evidence of his ownership. Shall continue the next part of the lesson, the next video. Thank you.